About this, one way or another. Really appreciate you for jumping in. Really do. Shout out to all of the HBO and the SGs in the house. Is this the No Chance Cowboys? Huh? What happened to my Warriors at? Where my fighters at? Where my dogs at? Should we just give this game to the Niners? Because that's the talk that I'm hearing out there in the streets. Come on. Where my thugs at, baby? Where my rollers at? Where my real ones? If you're a real one, type it in the chat. Tell them to bring it on. I caught a plane out to Cleveland late last evening. Help somebody clean up some bodies that's no longer breathing now. Who you believe in? Come on. Let's go, baby. It's wartime. My name is my name. Come on. Let's go. Physicality. Baby, baby, I feel you. Let's go. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. The name is Law Nation. Hey, we gonna talk this Cowboys talk one way or another. Hey, everybody's doubting us, right? Everybody's saying that the Cowboys not physical, they soft. Or everybody's saying that they are one and done. This particular team can't do it, you know? Oh my, look, are we five? We the first team to ever go to the playoffs. There's 12-5. But technically, it's 5-12 because we don't play nobody. You know, everybody play somebody, but the Cowboys somehow, the schedule just say, hey, the Cowboys play nobody. The Cowboys just somehow be the number one offense in the National Football League, and everybody's scared. Everybody's saying, oh, hey, you should be in fear of a team. Well, damn it, why the 49ers not undefeated then? How did they lose their games? It should be a situation where the 49ers undefeated. We should be, look, the 49ers, according to all of the pundits, the 49ers are the 2000 Ravens, the 2001 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their defense is stifling. They can run the ball. The Cowboys can't do nothing. We might as well just tell them, hey, just hand the L over to them. You know what I'm saying? You just take the L and just don't even play. Don't even play the game this weekend. Don't play the game this weekend if that's the case in a scenario, because we can't stop the run. We can't score. Dak Prescott, he can't hit water if he fell off a boat. Jimmy Garoppolo is the second coming of Joe Montana. They got Ricky Waters over there running the ball for them. Roger Craig, he reincarnated. He's running the ball for the 49ers. The Cowboys are the Cowboys. They can't do nothing. That's all I'm hearing.
Based off some of the players' activity on social media, they are hearing the noise.
Right.
Keep it up, media.
And it'll be one story. Appreciate you for the donation. It'll be one story, Cowboy Nation. It'll be one story if it was just the opposing media, right? But we hearing this from our own. We have nowhere to roll to. We have no chance. We're not physical. We have nowhere to go. We just going to fold up like we don't even have nowhere to retreat. Let me know where I'm wrong. All of a sudden, the Dallas Cowboys is a team that played nobody. All of a sudden, the Dallas Cowboys who went toe-to-toe to the Buccaneers, opening season of the game, what have you, for the 2021 season, that we didn't play them. We didn't give them a challenge, right? All of a sudden, the losses that we occurred and the slump that we went through, no other team went through that. Shout out to Parsons for making first team this is all pro first team. Appreciate you, Parsons. Give a round of applause to Parsons, baby. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. Shout out to you, Joe. Appreciate you. Let me put the chat up there because all of a sudden, this team, we don't play anybody. We don't do anything. By chance, just by chance, Parsons got those stats there. By chance. What nothing he did. By chance. Trayvon Diggs got those lucky interceptions, 11 of them. By chance. By chance, DeMarcus Lawrence come back and graded since he's been back the top run defender in the National Football League. Nobody, as relates to grades, or at least relates to what he's been doing as relates to stopping the run. By chance, it was all by luck. I can't make this stuff up, Cowboy Nation. Really appreciate y'all for jumping in. Hey, we don't belong here. Every team is better than the Cowboys. Well, as old folks say, you got to now put up or shut up, right? So this particular weekend, the Cowboys determine their own fate. Either you can be the doormat that everybody step on, or you can open the door and let everybody see this greatness that's going to happen. But I challenge those who say that they represent the silver and blue to fight with us. Stand tall with your team. The other fan bases are. Challenge those who talk ill of your team. Stand tall with your team. Right? All right, Cowboy Nation. Let's listen in to 1310 The Ticket. They had the mighty Troy Aikman on the show. And I always listen to Troy. Troy's my guy, right? And Troy's y'all guy too, right? And even he's threading, he's tiptoeing around the conversational piece there. But that's okay. Let's listen to him.
Morning, Troy.
Good morning. How are you?
Audio.
Doing well. We go to Super Wild Card Weekend. We've got a lot of playoff games coming up this weekend, even a Monday night game. You've got Bucks and Eagles on Sunday at noon. We'll talk about that here in a second. But let's talk about the Cowboys' opponent, the San Francisco 49ers. I know that gives you some flashbacks. We can talk about some of those old matchups here in a second. But you just saw them come back and beat the Rams. How good is this 49ers team?
I think they're a really good team. I do. I said it early in that game, and I've thought it now for the last several weeks. I just and we talked about it that you always want to be the highest seed you can be, but short of being the one or the two, what does that look like then in the wild card round? And I mean, I think this is a really tough team. I just think they play a brand of football that we just don't see in the NFL, and teams don't face on a regular basis. And it's an old school approach, and the way that they run the ball. I think
big facts.
I think Kyle Shanahan is outstanding. I think he's excellent as an offensive guy, but I think he's a really good head coach. They've got good players. They were without a number of guys again, as a lot of teams are. But if they get healthier, they're with some key players, they're only going to be then better in this game. But yeah, I like them a lot. I think they're going to be they're going to be a hard team to beat because they do run the ball so well. They commit to it. They are as physical as anybody in the game on both sides of the ball. They're good in the offensive line, and they're smart in the way in which they play. And if Jimmy Garoppolo can go out and make the plays like he did in the game on Sunday that we had, yeah, they're going to be hard to beat.
It's hard to take anything out of that game the Cowboys played against Philadelphia because it felt like a preseason game in some spots, but they did put up 50-plus points. How do you feel about the Cowboys going into the postseason?
Now, before we get into the conversational piece of, it's just sugar right there as it relates to the Cowboys versus the Eagles. They rested most of their starters, and we didn't get a good grasp of what we should do or what we shouldn't do against a playoff team. But the first opening series there, the Eagles did score first. They kept it competitive enough when they had some of their guys out there. Jalen Reagor was still out there for the majority of the game. And, I look at it like this, Cowboy Nation. Playoffs, take all what you did in the regular season, ball it up, throw it in the trash can. These teams are 0-0. Postseason, everybody starts off with a clean sheet. Now, based upon what you did in the regular season, put you where you're going to play as far as seeding. But we all know just because you got the number 1 seed or number 2 seed doesn't guarantee that you go to the Super Bowl. It's about now lock in, stay focused, stay rooted within the confines of your own self and play good football. Everything, the minimum of mistakes that you make can really propel you to good to this race to be really good.
You can only play who they put out there on the field. So I guess I was a little surprised that Philly hung in there like they did in the first half. Offensively, Dallas looked really good. Defensively, it was a little bit of a concern. And then I didn't catch the second half. We had a crew dinner, so I missed it. And then Dallas ran away with it, of course, which is what everyone expected. I don't know that I came out of that game feeling better. I didn't feel bad going into the game. I do like the team, but it's a little bit. You look at some of these teams that have had these winning streaks, and they just haven't played a lot of good football teams. Philadelphia being one of them. That hasn't played good teams, but Dallas, like we said, that their winning streak was against really poor teams, and then they close out against Philadelphia, who wasn't playing a lot of guys, resting them, and so I think Dallas goes into it feeling pretty good, but I still think kind of deep down they're just wondering exactly how they're going to compete, with good play against a good team. I think they're confident, and but. I just think this was one of the tougher matchups that anyone, not just Dallas, I think anybody having to play San Francisco in the wild card round was going to be a tough game.
It's Troy Aikman with us here on The Ticket. The last time the Cowboys played the 49ers in the playoffs was the NFC Championship game on January 15th, 1995. You guys were going for 3 straight Super Bowl titles, and the next thing you know in that game at Candlestick, you're down 21-0. We've talked to you about this game a number of times. We've said it was maybe the epitome of the 90s Cowboys because of the comeback that y'all made, and all of a sudden it's a 10-point game in the second half. What stands out to you when you think back?
Before Troy get into that conversational piece, appreciate everybody for watching. Be sure to hit that like, share this content, and let's continue to grow. All right, so he said on both sides, the Cowboys – didn't play anybody in their winning spree or what have you, and as well as the Philadelphia Eagles, they didn't play anybody on their winning spree. So he couldn't gauge or get any real assessments of that. And that's objective. I'm not finna go back and forth with Troy Aikman about who we played and who we didn't play, because that's the mighty Troy Aikman. I ain't silly around here, right? But I can tell you, everybody have their own expert opinion, right? But he didn't touch on who the 49ers played in their last 4 games. I get it. The Rams are a playoff caliber team, and they was fighting at the end of the game, right? Well, let's be real. The Rams are a playoff caliber team, and they tried to give all they can because they had a lot at stake. Here's the thing, though, Cowboy Nation. Is that a divisional game? Y'all let me know. And 9 times out of 10, when you play your divisional foes, you're going to play each other rough and rugged. Take whatever happened as relates to your record and ball it up and throw it away. That's how I view it, right? Now, it just somehow, it was just the Rams versus the 49ers. And one can argue if Matthew Stafford didn't turn into Matthew Stafford, then, it could have been a different situation. But I'm not finna go down that road. Hey, we will see what Matthew Stafford do in the playoffs, because everybody's looking at Dak Prescott, what he would do. But nobody point the finger at Matthew Stafford and what he can do, right? He just flies under the radar, not saying that I don't think he ever won a playoff game, but he's not held to that standard. And, of course, we don't have to go down that road. But let's listen.
Back, maybe you can throw in that game if you want, or just when you think Cowboys 49ers from the 90s, what comes to mind?
Well, what comes to mind is it was a great rivalry. We knew what was at stake when we played them in the regular season. We knew that whoever won that game was going to then be hosting the championship game, and then whoever won the championship game was essentially going to be the champions, winning the Super Bowl and 2 weeks later. So that it was 2 really good football teams. We were a bit of an underdog in '92 when we played them in the first NFC Championship game. They were a veteran team, had a lot of players who had not only playoff experience but Super Bowl experience. And I said it many times, I don't know that any of us really gave a lot of thought as to what might happen if we won that game. We were just thankful to be playing in the championship game against a really good team, and could we pull it off? And 60 minutes later, all of a sudden, we're on our way to Pasadena in the Rose Bowl. But that '94 game, what I remember is us getting down early, and then we never could cut it to less than 10 points. We'd get to within 10. It was a pretty valiant effort in order to get it back to 10, but every time we cut it to 10, they would kick a field goal or score, and then extend their lead back, and then we would come back and cut it to 10. But I always felt that if we could get it to within 7 or less, that then we were putting real pressure on them, and I wasn't real sure that they'd be able to hold up just because of what had happened the 2 previous years. But I've said many, many times, and you kind of alluded to it right there with your question, that it's the most proud I've ever been walking off an athletic field, win or lose, and the reason is because we got down so much. And I've always said that when we started winning, and now. On the heels of John Madden passing away,
right?
When John and Pat started covering our games, we were pretty good. I mean, we didn't go through this lull right at the start. Once we started getting the big broadcast games, we were winning, and we were winning Super Bowls, and that went on for 3 years. And so then we get into that championship game, and it was the first time that America really saw us struggle, because we had always won those games. We'd always won the big games. And so I thought for the first time America really got to see what we were about, and that we weren't just a bunch of front runners that just beat everybody and didn't know how to handle adversity. That the way we got to be champions was we went through plenty of adversity. I certainly did, and Irvin did, and Emmett, and in our early years. But I thought they got a chance to see what champions we really were. And so, yeah, it was a disappointing loss. It was hard, because I do think we would have gone on and beat San Diego just like San Francisco was able to do, and I think we would have won 3 in a row had we have been able to get through that, and then maybe we still win the '95 championship and then win 4 in a row. But I thought it was a team that I was real proud of, and just an unfortunate day when you don't play your best football in the most meaningful games.
No doubt. So Troy was reliving like the the rivalry situation between the Cowboys versus the 49ers. And when they handed us that L back in the days, it did show that, hey, the Cowboys could get beaten, and they're not going to go 3 in a row, And trust me, John Madden and Pat Summerall at the time, they were just now starting to do this live commentary with big viewership. That was a major deal when they got that TV contract with some of those networks there, which propelled their legacy and made both of them rest in peace, man. And everybody, that sit around and watch those games, man, it seems as it was a joyous moment when you look back at everything. Shout out to Troy Aikman for being transparent on that. But I'm quite sure, the winner of that game, like he said, would have beaten the bejesus out of the Chargers at the time, the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah, it was such a great rivalry. And in the 80s, of course, going back to the 70s with the Cowboys, and in the 90s, the two teams were so good that they created these huge fan bases, and that was on display in Los Angeles, the 49er fan base.
Yeah.
That was amazing how many 49ers fans were in the crowd. What'd you think of that? And then how many 49ers fans do you think will be here on Sunday?
Yeah, I was shocked. I was talking to Kevin Demoff, who's with the Rams, before the game, and he said that they were going to have their largest crowd ever. And we had done the game earlier in the year when they hosted Tampa Bay. And that was a huge crowd, a really vocal, loud crowd earlier in the season, and it was all Rams fans. And so that's what I was anticipating. The Chargers, as you probably know, when they've played home games, they've been drowned out, the Chargers fans. The road team, especially the Raiders, came to town. There was Cowboys played there. There was a ton of Cowboys fans. But we haven't seen that with the Rams. So when the game started, I thought I saw a lot more red in the stands than blue, and I thought, I don't know. And then when they got going, I think there was a time. I couldn't confirm it, so I didn't go with it. But I think there was a moment there where Stafford was using silent count. I know the Chargers have had to use silent count at home, and so that was. It's a little bit deflating. I'll be honest with you. If you're a home team and you walk out and you're outnumbered with fans, it's pretty defeating. And the closest we came to in Dallas was Pittsburgh travels well, Green Bay travels well, and those were the two teams when we took the field at Texas Stadium that you could hear that there were other fans in the stands. I mean, we never were outnumbered. Cowboys fans were never outnumbered at Cowboys Stadium. So, yeah, it was really unusual. Now, this game, I don't know how they get their access to tickets. Dallas fans do a pretty good job of filling up that big stadium. So yeah. I would be shocked if it's even remotely close to what we experienced last week in Los Angeles.
It's almost like as we head into the postseason, it's like Wednesday or Thursday, the COVID list announcements are such a big factor. Who's playing and who can keep their team available.
All right, COVID crap, I ain't finna talk about that. But appreciate everybody that's walking in and watching it. I meant to say not walking in, watching it, this video and sharing it and subscribing. Hey, Philadelphia, please use less emojis before you get kicked out. I don't want to see all those emojis in there. I feel you. I feel you want to speak your mind, and we give you much time to speak your mind, but please use less emojis there. I don't want none of my mods to put you on timeout. All right, so just respect the platform, fam. This is Cowboys 49ers week, not Eagles week. Be sure to check out your content creators like Lord Bronson's, Philly 500, Bird Gang 31. Be sure to check them out. They are Eagle content creators. But I get it, Cowboys, we so well. We got people from other root for other teams here. And we appreciate you for jumping in. It helps us out. It helps grow the nation. But neither here nor there, Cowboy Nation, as we head into this wild card game, the Dallas Cowboys versus the 49ers. When I look at it, yeah, I get it. They are a physical team. They are a team that run the ball stubborn enough to continue to run the ball regardless. Whether they get 1 yard, 2 yard, 3 yard, they continue to run and press the issue of whether it's 1 yard, whether it's 2 yards, whether it's 3. They stubborn to continue to get upfield and try it. And you see Aaron Donald, he tried his best to stop it. But look at this. They did a great job in the first half. A great job there. The LA Rams did a wonderful job on stopping the run. But what happened here is that they continue to run it. And their stubbornness makes them win games, believe it or not. And I get it when we look at it, when we look at the film, we would say, all right, how would this combat against what the Cowboys do? Well, I believe looking at the schedule, we have yet to play a team that is this stubborn, And when I look at it, I say to myself, this Elijah Mitchell, oh my goodness, look at this run. Let's rewind just for a little bit. They would catch you. They would catch you in this type of look. It's really down to the front 4 of the Cowboys and our linebackers. And what they do is a lot. They do this motion sweep to get the opposition linebacker out of the way, and they run through the A or the B gap. And you will see that. Now, downhill runner, that's what he is. One cut, that's what they're going to do. And on top of that, watch how they manipulate the linebacker when you look at all of the film. Now, this time, the linebacker did good. Squeezed down the inside and made this a tackle here. But they motion, they shift left, shift right. There your hole, there your alleyway. That's 3 yards right there, Cowboy Nation. 3 yards. Watch the 17. What he does, he widen out. They run right behind him. 17 widen out. That's the grittiest 5.5 yards I ever seen. Watch. The motion shift everybody to the left side, and they're going to run right onto their side. And they continue to do this. This is everything you want to see in 90s style of football. And the only trouble is when they decided to pass the ball. But Jimmy still threw for 300 yards against this team, and that would be the other segment there, But neither here nor there. Shotgun, run the ball, right up the gut, there's 3 yards. And what they try to do is get that safety down inside. So they play single high safety now. Squeezes, light box, still able, strong box right there, all right. I formation. At 8 yards off of that run. They stubborn. They're so stubborn. They continue to run the rock. Watch his fullback. He looking for somebody. Fullback got thrown out of the club. Oh, my goodness. This is a brutal, brutal battle right here. Watch the fullback get thrown out of the club. Watch 44. Pay attention to 44. He don't care. It's physicality. Why'd you get thrown out of the club? Get out of the club. But he made the sacrifice, still 7.5 yards. Oh, my gosh. Up the gut. 5 yards off of that one. I charted that one. That was 5 yards. Just simple. Look how they control it. It's a linebacker's game. They use the fullback to control the linebacker. Watch the oh, my goodness, man. So the linebackers, and this is how they got them. They so focused on stopping the run. Let's focus on stopping the run. Watch the LA Rams bite into the bait. Debo throws his touchdown. Look at whoever come on, Jalen. Single high safety, he had no chance. But let's look at this play one more time, Cowboy Nation. And for those who watching, the 49er gang is still in here. Shout out to y'all. And watch what they do. Manipulation. I know some of y'all in the chat can throw that ball, right? Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Debo in the backfield. Everybody squeeze inside. Come on, Fo. You chipped him. Get off of him. I have to put that on Jalen, though. They got to put it on Jalen Ramsey. They got to be on him. All right, toss. No yard. and then he still squeezes and get 5. Still squeezes and get 5. Watch this. Shot. No yards. Squeezes. Downhill runner. Elijah Mitchell's like 5'10", 205 pounds. He stick his foot and get upfield. A 13-yard game right there. They continue. Stubborn enough. And you can tell. Y'all know this is the third quarter by now, right? You know it's the third quarter. You can tell. He was good tackling in the first and second quarter, but now it's the third quarter. Good play by the defense on that one. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. So you're going to have to make sure that you're here all day and all night to stop this run. Those boys are coming. Those boys are flat out coming. Watch the motion, man. Run to the opposite side of it. 6 yards. Motion, man. Squeeze is inside. That's the grittiest 6 yards you can get. Gritty. And then when they get in shotgun, this is what you got to do. You got to take advantage. When Jimmy throw the ball, watch how this ball is thrown. Now, y'all saying Dak Prescott is not accurate. Watch how bad he throw this one. It's so far off from the receiver or from the target there. Look where he at. He threw it right to number 5. Probably one of his easiest interception he would ever catch. Watch. Right to him. Into sea of blue. Make it 3rd and long, forces those boys to throw that ball. That's how you win the game. But they stubborn enough to go back to the run. That's what they do. Toss. Good toss, too, by the way. Dagger toss. 8 yards off of this one. Just crushed the wheel. Yeah. 66 got enough. Woo. 66. Made 51 his baby. Let's rewind and watch it again. 44, 66. Hey, you my baby. Get out of the way. Oh, my goodness. Good old school football. Toss right, toss left. Destroyed the wheel. I'm going to toss it left now. Watch Kittles. Yeah. Hat on hat. I got to see this play again. I like that one. Let's rewind. Let's see it. I toss right, toss left all day. Watch 66. Threw that man out of the club. But I thought it was free admission. Nah, it ain't free admission now. Motion, toss left. Watch that motion. And then they toss the same way the man is motion. 81 looking for somebody to hit. Good play. Yeah, Nate is poor tackling at this point. Yeah. And that's the passes that Jimmy will do. He will pass to the one-on-one to the outside. Your outs. And number 15 had a hell of a game too. That motion left, toss. Y'all saw that play earlier? You remember that play earlier? Let's go back and watch it again. They went back to the same play. Motion. Give it to the man again. Yeah. All right. So you guys get what I'm saying, right? Right. When we look into that, those boys are going to play just that style. They like to do these motions, and they run the same play out of the same setup, but give you variations of it. They line up in power I, motion the receiver to the left side of the field, and just before he get across the end of the outside tackler, he hikes the ball, toss it to the running back. The running back used that momentum, and he runs behind that. They do that play left. They do that play right. Oh, as soon as they got you on the heels, they motion the same man, and they toss it right, juxtaposed to left. and they run on the weak side. Old school football by hook or by crook. But they like to start the game off chipping away. 1, 2, 3 yards. Third down, play action. Give you the underneath 10, 15-yarder, right? If Debo break free, it's just what it is. But that's their game. How you stop that law? How do you stop that law? Well, here's how you stop it. Like Ripley's Believe It or Not. When there's opportunity for you to score, don't give the ball back to them. Time of possession, they're gonna dominate that. Why? They're running the ball. You're gonna have to play disciplined football. The Rams played disciplined football in the first and the second quarter. But in the third, when they got tired, I think that my guy Jimmy Johnson, he once said this, fatigue makes cowards of us all. Let me repeat, fatigue makes cowards of us all, right? You guys remember when he said that? I think he had some more words inside of it, but I'm not going to echo that because we got kids watching. So shout out to the playmaker and shout out to 105.3 The Fan. They got a chance to get a good conversational piece to him about this. Let's listen.
Now you're optimistic about everything every week. Don't worry, don't stress. And now you're worried and stressed about San Francisco. Why aren't you thrilled with the first round matchup?
Thank you for the donation.
Since I've used the plate analogy, let me stay in this arena just for a moment. Why, when I prepared a perfect meal for you, do you not just swallow this meal? Why must you hold it and regurgitate it and then go find out from other people? Oh, Michael prepared a perfect meal for you. See, you didn't believe me when I told you this was our worst matchup. Oh, you didn't think so. So you had to go and listen to others. Everybody says the same thing. It's our worst matchup. And as RJ showed you, and the numbers showed you, that's why the numbers are so close, and we're only there by 3. Now, it's because of a couple things. Just a couple things. And RJ, I heard of the.
Let's pause for a quick second right here. Appreciate you so much for the donation here 24/7. Anytime that you guys give the wonderful donation to help elevate the nation. We go and do a little pause right here. Appreciate you, man, for the 1999 law. After Dak win this game, he should go to the podium, drop that American boy image and say, go tell that. You know, will you get the hell off my back now? Okay? I'll take your questions. Well, I think that Dak Prescott too even killed for that 24/7. This would be a situation where he'll wipe his hands and be on to the next opponent. I recall a couple of episodes ago that I was telling most of you guys, be sure to check out Tom Brady after he win a playoff game. It's like water on a duck's back. And I'm not saying that Tom Brady is the greatest of all time, but he been there for most of the time, more than we noticed, right? The man been through playoff games, and he got seven on his resume, right? So just follow the greats. He's going to look at this moment. He's going to relive it for a quick second, and then he's on to the next opponent. So that's what we got to do as it relates to the mindset. I get it. We want to tell the world where we are at and who we are and everything. But I need Dak Prescott to be even keeled. And when we get this victory or what have you, thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be established. So that's why I'm speaking it into existence. Well, when he get this victory, he should be like, hey, we on to the next opponent. This was a tough match. Blood was shed. Yeah, but, hey, let's get refocused. We got a bigger goal that's at hand. All right, Yarber, appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you for the donation there. The helmet just came in. Appreciate you. Hey, if you don't mind, send a picture, man, so we can post it. Appreciate you, Yarber. He won the helmet signed by Yarber. When you look at that helmet, you see an 8 and a 4 on that helmet. That's an autograph signed Jay Novacek. Yeah, you got one of those. All right, so let's listen back to the playmaker.
The thing you did on the run win percentage teams. I mean, that's deep in the weeds right there, buddy.
Very deep in the weeds. I live in those weeds, Mike. I got ticks everywhere.
Right.
I'm so deep in the weeds.
Right. And I'm glad somebody even brought it up. Like, okay, give me some of those teams. Oh, all the NFC East teams. Right. With teams we will not see much of with maybe Philly. But yeah, man, listen, this is because of the way they run the football and the way they will stick with the run. And no, we do not, absolutely do not have a coaching advantage. Absolutely not. You can just say it. No. I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, Kyle Shanahan is one of the best coaches, I think, in the NFL. And he knows how to design plays, and he will stick with that run. And as I said to you, Sean, he controls Jimmy G more than any other coach controls their quarterback. So he can have a hand in Jimmy G not giving it and not turning the ball over as much as he can by calling run plays. And George Kittle and Deebo Samuel, I can't believe you guys don't know that Deebo Samuel is a receiver. Deebo Samuel was setting records this year. You know, I do a hit in San Francisco.
Wow! Look! Before I get my screen back up, man, the playmaker said that we don't even have a coaching advantage. I know Kyle Shanahan is good. You know, I appreciate what Kyle been doing, you know. But is Kyle Shanahan that much better than Dan Quinn? Is Kyle Shanahan that much better than Mike McCarthy? Hey, Mike, you know. FBI, open up! I mean, come on. Is that what you're saying?
Every week, you know, with 95 the game.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm gonna tell you something.
Rewind. Make
he
sure
will
I'm hearing
put
it right there.
Kittle turning, and he will stick with that run. And as I said to you, Sean, he controls Jimmy G more than any other coach controls their quarterback. So he can have a hand in the run. And no, we do not, absolutely do not have a coaching advantage.
I'm being real with y'all 100.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
As PC as I am, the 49ers better not lose this game. Now I'm lighting the playmaker up. The 49ers better not. You speaking too glowingly, Mike. I mean, y'all literally sullying and denigrating, casting aspersions on Dan Quinn's name. You literally slapping anything that he did for this 2021 season.
Absolutely do not have a coaching advantage. Absolutely not. You can just say it. No. I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, Kyle Shanahan is one of the best coaches, I think, in the NFL. Okay. And he knows how to design plays, and he will stick with that run. And as I said to you, Sean, he controls Jimmy G more than any other coach controls their quarterback. So he can have a hand in Jimmy G not giving it and not turning the ball over as much as he can by calling run plays. And George Kittle and Deebo Samuel, I can't believe you guys don't know that Deebo Samuel is a receiver. Deebo Samuel was setting records this year. You know, I do a hit in San Francisco too every week. You know, with 95 the game.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm gonna tell you something. Deebo Samuel, I said to them back in week 4 or 5, something like that. If Kyle Shanahan wanted to, Deebo Samuel would be in the MVP conversation every year. talent this dude is. This is the talent that he is. He can throw the ball. He can run the ball. This year they're running him inside the tackles more, and he can catch it, and then he will run your butt over. I am so worried about it. And George Kittle, they have the kind of players that you're going to have to put down. I mean, like rabid dogs, you got to put them down. They ain't going to stop. They ain't going to quit. They going to keep fighting, and you got a battle on your hands. That's all I'm saying. You got a battle. So if we're worried about and thinking about, or if we want the Cowboys to go anywhere, they got to put their foot in this first game right here, buddy, because they were not sweet by this one. I wanted one for them to get ready with. I thought Arizona would have been a gone get right game. You know, and even if D-Hop was coming back, he would just be coming back. He won't be right. They just played him. You saw how hard it is to win a game when you just beat a team. Alabama will tell you that. You just saw that. You know what I mean? I was like, man, we got this. We got this. And then we got this here, friends. So, yeah, I'm a little worried. Now it really leans on Dak. And get this, even if you go up 17, he's still not coming off that running game.
No.
Ask the Rams.
The Rams, I think, the number one offense in the National Football League, by the way. Shout out to the Rams. And the Rams are 0-6 against the 49ers. And just like I said, before this thing ever kicked off, divisional foes, divisional games is always different. And I can't believe that the playmaker would ever think that the Cowboys are up by any amount of points, that a team will have the ability to come back. I recall, can you guys let me know, Cowboy Nation, what game that we had to lead, like by that amount, that Dak Prescott was under center and we lost? Come on. You know, and on top of that, you talking about a team, literally, that was averaging 130 yards a game, 4th overall in rushing. Last I checked, as much rushing or running the ball that the 49ers do, they weren't ranked 4th overall, and although they're committed to the commitment. But I believe, in the hearts of hearts, if the Cowboys decide to run the ball, they can run the ball. Now, the type and the style of plays that they were running, yes, it wasn't sufficient or efficient enough. 21 slam, halfback slam in the middle and all of that. Yeah, I get it. But if the Cowboys just wake up and toss the ball, if they decide to do it, then guess what? It can happen. Deebo Samuel's cool and good. And he got my guy. Not Cedric Wilson, because Cedric Wilson can throw the ball. But let's just pivot a little bit. He got my guy CeeDee Lamb by 15 pounds, right? But we saw when CeeDee Lamb was tossed left or tossed right, he was averaging 7.2 yards per rush. We got a guy by the name of Tony Pollard on outside edge rushing. And even in between the splits, he's averaging 5.5. The Cowboys can run this ball. That's just a narrative that they can't, because I believe when we look at the tape, they just refuse to do it. That's all I'm saying. Shout out to you, David J. Appreciate you. I call BS. Michael Irvin is trying to get the Cowboys pissed off. He's trying some reverse psychology. This is some psychological warfare right now, and I'm not happy of the playmaker, by the way. So this whole game, I might just title my game this weekend, the No Chance Cowboys versus the 49ers wild card playoff game. That's probably be my title. No chance. Michael Irvin isn't lying, just setting up the W. I feel you.
They just did it and lost the game. So you got to be talking about going up 21-24-0 before you can put this thing in the Groff's hand and take it away from Kyle Shanahan. This is why I was worried.
Does a lot of this game, I don't say a lot of it, but like if Trent Williams doesn't play, or if he plays, Is that sort of like the key factor for San Fran?
It is. It could be a big factor, but you saw Trent on the sideline last week.
Yeah.
And that was against the all-star team of Von Miller and Aaron Donald, and they still got in, and you saw no drop-off. They still drove that ball when they needed to, and they made the plays. They went 80-something yards to score the game, win tying touchdown, and came back and put the thing away. And put it away with an interception. It was incidentally, and as I digress, isn't that incredible? How we always fall back on the same mistakes. That's a word. You know what I'm saying? That's a word I need to chew on my own self right there. As a matter of fact, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. But how, after all of that, Matt Stafford, we talked about, you fall right back on that same mistake, throwing that interception at the end of the game to lose that game, man. But San Fran's going to be a tough out, guys. Just letting you know.
Michael Irvin right here on 105.3 The Fan. Now, what are the nightmare matchups for them to deal with based upon their defense and dealing with the Cowboys? How do you see it for them and what they have to worry about?
Well, for us, what we have to do is no getting around this. And this is one of the things why I said it too. No getting around. All of this vacillating back and forth. Oh, good offense, not so good. I didn't struggle here. Got a problem. Get it. No, you got to come out right now, and you better look like you look week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, and week 6. You better look like you look early on in this season right now, or this game is going to be you're going to be in some trouble. Now remember, I believe San Fran will come out. I believe they're going to come out and try to wear down our pass rushers. That's the last thing they want is fresh pass rushers. How do you think they're doing this? They are going to just lean heavy. If they get that ball first, if we win this toss and they defer, and we win the toss and we defer. Win the toss, we defer because we want to do the Tom Brady and the Bill Belichick at the end of the half and get it back at the beginning of the third.
Yeah.
My God, I guarantee you Kyle Shanahan takes this ball and runs this ball 19 times on a drive, on the first drive, to try to wear down this defensive line even when they're rotating. He would just lean heavy to see what kind of man you are.
Mike, what do you think about the thought of physical versus finesse? Are the Cowboys, are they a finesse team? Is this a manhood being challenged game right here when everyone thinks the only way they can really beat you is pounding it right down your throat?
It's definitely a man checker. You know what I mean? This is a man checker. You got because whatever it takes, and this is another reason I was talking about this. You're gonna feel this game next week. Mm-hmm. This will be one of those games where you feel, and it will have an effect on what you do next week. So yeah, you got to worry about taking care of this game right now, but you're gonna still feel it next week, and it is a man checker. And let me tell you why that's important for us, because we sometimes we throw the ball all over the field and it looks great. And then, we used to be a power run game.
Yeah.
We used to be a power run game and a power run team and a physical team. But we're starting now. Let's get a ball more to Pollard. Let's do this and let's hit outside more. And, you guys have been singing this song for a while.
Yeah.
And now other people see that. They say, oh, it's not the power run team that they start, that Zeke and Dak, when they started their career, that's what we were. That's what we were. When they started their career, we'll power run you right now. Boy, hey, step up here, we'll power run you. Now that we amalgamized and put in a good passing game, we're not necessarily that same power run game, and we will have to find both grooves to get by this team.
Michael, do players and coaches go into a game thinking like, we need a certain amount. Like if this game only has like 8 possessions each, like the Cowboys could be in trouble, right? But if it has 12, San Fran's really in trouble because that's more possessions that Dak has, the better offense, more possessions. Do players and coaches think like that, or is that not part of it?
Well, coaches, I'm sure, think like that. Players, sometimes, I don't know that we get in the weeds like that. I mean, I may sit and have a conversation. I remember with Axe or Norv, conversations like that, but not player to player. Norv may say, Mike, I see this game now. We're going to have to start running this game. They can get to the passer. We want to wear them down. We want to wear those legs down before they hit Troy. So we're going to pound them a little bit early. I said, well, how much early? He said, just a little bit early. I said, why don't we just get me a couple of hitches out here there so you can get my, keep my temperature right. You know what I'm saying? So, we used to have these conversations. That's why all I do is come back and tell y'all the kind of conversations Norv and Axe and I used to have as we were breaking down how we're approaching and attacking teams like right here. And I believe that's what San Fran is going to try to do to us. They're going to come out and try to take a little bit of that pass rush away by just straight leaning on our defensive line.
Are you making a pick yet?
I'm a diehard Dak Prescott fan, and we walk and talk about all the slumps and all of those things, and I love the Baldinger told you guys how they were just not in sync, and I don't know why and how Mari Cooper and Dak get out of sync, but I believe Dak's always over-delivered. He's never not over-delivered. When he was picked, he over-delivered. When he first got in the game, he over-delivered. And now he has this huge weight with this huge contract. And now, right here, is where everybody's waiting to justify all of that money right here. And I believe Dak will over-deliver again and find a way to get us this win. But it's going to be a tough game. And it's going to check the pants of every man on this field.
That was the end of that, man. Shout out to the playmaker, Michael Irvin, and his assessment of this team that we all love, and we want what's best for this team. By the way, and the physicality versus finesse. I believe that physicality and finesse can all be one of the same. It can all be one of the same. And I get it. None of these guys that made it to the National Football League didn't make it here by mistake, right? They had to be the better of the best within the confines of their own school, university, and beyond. And they had to showcase those levels of situations of bringing it to the table. So there's nobody that can look at this offensive front five as it relates to Zach Martin and say, hey, man, you're just a finesse guy. You're not physical enough. Nobody can look at when Collins is pulling and say, hey, man, you're just a finesse guy. You're not physical enough. You do what's the strength of these guys, and they will figure it out, Cowboy Nation. Hey, a lot of people think that Tony Pollard is some finesse type of runner. A lot of people don't give him the longitude or latitude to run in between the splits. But truth be told, that Tony, hey, he's one of the guys that's leading the league, not just in yards per attempt, 5.5, but pretty much yards after contact. He's not this guy that lay down and say, oh. And trust me, that I don't think that nobody on the Niners, if Niner Nation is still watching, will say, you know what, give me Elijah Mitchell over Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is that dude. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Elijah Mitchell for what he do for the 49ers. But let's let it be known that scheme over there. That scheme over there. Tony Pollard is nice. Ezekiel Elliott is nice. And as well as our three-headed running back, Corey Clement, if you give him an opportunity, he can get some of those yards in between. So, yeah, Mitchell is a rookie. And I'm not trying to, denigrate a player for being a rookie. Come on now. He is pretty nice. I'm not saying that he's garbage or trash or anything. But I'm quite sure that if you had an option for right now, you would take Tony Pollard over Elijah Mitchell. Come on, let's be real. And shout out to him, though, for all he doing for the 49ers, what have you. Even in this game that we looked at far as the stats right here, far as this game, let me hit this button right here. He only averaged 4 yards flat. He only averaged 4 yards. And I'm not saying only in a negative connotation, but they continue to put the ball in the belly of him, right? So it was more so of being consistent and stubborn. That's what they look at as relates to in this particular system. I think the largest run was like 13 yards on this one. So we will be lock loaded. We will be ready this Sunday. We will, Cowboy Nation. And, of course, football is meant to be played, not talked about. So a lot of people are talking right now, but when it's time for us to put on the pads and put on that helmet, baby, we got to get ready for it. Now, it's a home game, and the Cowboys are requesting everyone to wear white, right? And we know for sure, we know for sure that the 49ers, they do travel. Let's not be crazy with it. And it is what it is. Everybody already, if you're a 49er fan, you probably be like, yeah, they're all in favor of us. Woo! Y'all should be happy. Y'all should be throwing a parade. But those are just pundits talking. Now it's time to lace them up and put that helmet on. As my brother said when he called in, double chin strap that thing, right? Cowboys got to understand this right here at the start of the season. Most of the pundits said they won't even make it to the playoffs. That they don't have a chance as well. In every situation, Dak Prescott is either one coming off of an injury. Y'all remember that? Do y'all remember how far we came, right? Start of the season. Man, we don't know if he's mentally is going to be prepared. That ankle. And then all through, just listen to what we had to go through, Cowboy Nation. All through training camp. That ankle. And then in the last few weeks of that training camp, the shoulder, the back, the meat falling off the bone. You know what I mean? I'm like, dog, are we talking about rib tips? The meat falling off the bone. The Cowboys don't have a chance against the Buccaneers. And then that game appeared, and we knew the aficionados. I'm not going to only blame it on the aficionados, and we're not only going to blame it on the kicker. But a third of you guys was like, yeah, man, it's the same old Cowboys. And then we went on our run. Another injury occurred, the calf situation. And then the third of the Cowboys Nation was saying, you're paying the man $75 million. He should be able to take $5 million and go purchase a calf somewhere else and just put it on him and go back out there. And not a word was mentioned. Of the Allen contract. What's the guy for the Buffalo Bills? He's getting paid more, I believe. Right? Not a word was mentioned to anybody else, but it's Dak Prescott. He must be the one that prove it to everyone. He must be the guy. Yeah, he must be the guy to overcome everything. So the goalposts were moved once again. The Cowboys are this because of the defense. The Cowboys defense is presenting this because of the level of competition. Right? They keep moving the goalposts. The Cowboys going to be 8-1. Now the Cowboys, when they get beyond it, they can't beat a team that's north of 500. Oh, now the Cowboys, they can't beat a team. They can't beat a team that's a playoff contender. The Cowboys now can't beat a team that's physical. And then now after this week, we will see what will be the next goalpost that they're going to move. Oh, it could be just this. The 49ers played the Rams mighty tough, and they was a little tender. And they wasn't on page. They wasn't themselves. Let's see if the Cowboys can go can win another game. That was a home game. Can they go on the road to win? Right? There'll always be excuses. There'll always be the goalpost being moved, right? Instead of sitting back and saying, hey, man, at the end of the day, the man had the bone protruding through the skin. Tears was in his eyes. He left it all on the field last year. Let's see if we can at least be thankful that we made it to the – no, they ain't going to say that. No, it's Super Bowl or bust. And I don't blame them, right? I digress. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Ooh, baby, it's 1 o'clock. Practice is about to be over in 2 hours. I can't wait to see what news that's going to permeate throughout the NFL world, especially about the Cowboys. Digs at least 1 or 2, yep. Appreciate it. Yeah, let's go, Cowboy Nation. Win, lose, or draw. And still shame on the playmaker.
Shame.
Come on.
Shame.
Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's figure this out. And truth be told, shout out to the 49ers. Thank y'all for rolling with me today. Yeah. Please keep dispelling these media narratives about our team. ESPN and Fox is the reason most fans hate Dak Prescott, basically. The media tell them to hate him. Any other quarterback that threw for 37 touchdowns to 10 interceptions in a slump, by the way, would have been the front runner for Comeback Player of the Year in any other organization. But they gloss over it because it's the Cowboys. They make what Dak Prescott just went through. Oh, there's anybody can do that. Anybody can have that type of injury and come back mentally sharp. Anybody can take the Cowboys 12-5. This is nothing. This is just a walk in the park, right? You know, Cowboy Nation, it's kind of crazy that this life that we live is what it is. But I come here to tell everybody right now, let the haters talk. As much as we do our thing, we keep doing ours. As much as they say their thing, we keep doing ours. They watch it. They love to be into this situation where we at right now. Right? This is the moment that we fought for right here. To be able to say, yeah, we made it, baby, in the playoff game. But it's time for us showcase to the world, and even the playmaker in Troy. We ain't folding up like a wallet or a lawn chair. I remember stories. Yeah, I remember these stories that Goliath was a great big old giant. There was this one guy that had grabbed a smooth rock, right? With one blow, he was able to knock that giant out. Race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong or the mighty. It's to he that endureth, Cowboy Nation. And we endured. I recall people talking about us for being patient with our team for over 25 years. That let me know that all of y'all are the real ones. We're not folding up like a wallet or a lawn chair. We support this team all the way. And while everybody else have their reservations, we ain't going nowhere, baby. Bring the heat. Bring the hate. Make my teeth whiter. Make my beard. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Long enough somebody said, I can't take this no more. Glenn, what's good? How did Doc not make the Pro Bowl as an alternate? But they love Hurts instead. Nobody in the media say a word about it. Yeah. The hatred is so deep. Dak Prescott numbers are better than Kyler Murray, I believe, right? I didn't look at Caliber numbers, but I don't think that he had numbers that Dak Prescott had, by the way. Sonic Kane. America's Most Wanted. Let's go, baby. It's okay. It's all good. Let them continue to hate. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, I got my going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. We still digging over here, baby. Come on. Let's go. Appreciate y'all. One love. Turn me up, baby. Turn me up, turn me up, turn me up, turn me up. Man, this beat, man, it just get me crazy, baby. Blood would be shed, baby. Thoughts will be going through the minds of you guys of the old 90s, right? The old feeling, the old vibe, the old robbery. Whether or not you hate it or you like it, whether or not you're just in the middle of it, baby. Oh, my goodness. It's fight time, baby. Oh, my goodness. If you're watching all the way to this point and you had not hit that like button, oh, fight time, baby. Battle time, baby. And you don't like law. I can do this for 24 hours.